That was fantastic. Just a moment. All right. So that was a fantastic hosting, Varun. Thank you so much. And amazing talk from Kaushik. I loved it every bit. I'm sure you are super excited, fired up, excited to do something great in your life after listening to Kaushik. Next 25 minutes is going to be life changing for you because you are going into a mode which probably you haven't gone so far. So I'm giving you some instructions to follow. First thing is that ideally you should be watching this on your laptop. If in future you're watching this recording, switch from your mobile to laptop first. Second, you are not running the country. There is nothing danger happening. Unless there is a medical emergency, I request all of you to please keep your mobile out of your sight. Best is keep it in the other room or put into the aeroplane mode and keep it behind the laptop. It should not be visible to you. It is the biggest distraction of our life in today's world. I am not just telling you, I am today, whatever I'm going to tell you, everything I have implemented. My mobile is not in this room and it is already in aeroplane mode outside. I am on this laptop. I am only having Zoom open and my PPT, which I'm going to present. Everything else is closed and my laptop itself is on a focus mode, means D&D mode. I would request you to do that. And that is only when you'll be able to hyper focus for next 25 minutes. Because if you miss anything in next 25 minutes, you might miss something great, which can actually make you amazing, like your ideals in GFC. So let us start with this. What is this hyper focus? In this today's world of so much of distraction, where people are struggling to just focus, how can we hyper focus and why should we at all be hyper focused? Aren't our life be normal? It's all going well. We are multitasker. We are doing everything well. But unless you are a very successful person, at least 1 to 2% of the world knows about you, you are not successful yet. You haven't touched that. And because you have never hyper focused in your life. And today, I'm going to tell you how to do that. It is not just a theoretical talk. It is everything which I have implemented and you will be able to implement as well. So hyperfocus actually means that we are focusing only on the one external thing with all our thoughts focused on that. Nothing else is running in our mind. And ideally, that was impossible for me some time back. And that was also the reason that I was not doing great in my life. I was a mediocre, I was an average person. But from the time I started hyper focusing actually helped me to do what I'm able to do. If people who don't know me, I am currently a featured coach as well as getting opportunity to lead GFC with other leadership teams. So I'm actually representing the whole leadership team of GFC here. And I also, along with that, I also have a full-time IT very demanding job and a family to care as well. I at a time to looking after of hundreds of ongoing clients, transforming, I'm taking care of them. I'm also mentoring and coaching lot of coaches and also running the GF system as well. It is only because of this hyper focus mode. I'll take help of a presentation which will help me to deliver my message very well and help you explain better. If you are able to at least use hyper focus mode at least once a day, you will at least be 5 times better than what you are today. And if you do it for maximum what I am currently doing in my life, and I'll be doing a tell, you'll actually hit the ultimate productivity. And mind my words, as Kaushik said, you don't even know your own what is the best productivity. So stay tuned with me, and you'll be on the greatest journey of your life. So before we understand hyper focus, let us understand how our mind works. Our mind is not designed to work everything with the conscious thought or conscious effort, because if we do that, lot of energy is used by the body, and body is designed to actually survival or reproduction. Our mind and body is completely wired only for these two things. Everything related to two things will get attraction, rest all will not. So we do n number of things in our life. And if we keep doing everything with a conscious thought, we will not be able to do. So 40% of whatever we do are actually done by our habits. And that is why we are able to take care of other things. And whatever we do with our habits is actually called autopilot mode. Means you don't even know how we respond. But majority people spend their time in autopilot mode and doing everything in autopilot mode. And that actually becomes a problem. And that's why we are not able to achieve much in our life. And actually, we are overwhelmed with just doing one thing. While someone is running the whole country, someone's running such a big organization, we are just not able to manage our job and something. It is because we are running our life on autopilot mode. अपने आप जैसे आ रहा है वैसे ऑटो जो रिस्पॉन्स होता है वैसे हो रहा है. We are not using our brain. And literally, and now as I am studying and implementing more and more and seeing different results of my life, I literally believe we haven't used our brain not more than 2% till now. So if you understand how the tasks are divided, if you see this grid, on the top side, which are productive work, we have necessary work, which we don't like or not attractive. And there's a purposeful work, which actually we attract and love. For me, the purposeful work is everything and anything in GFC, be it transforming that one person's life whom I'm coaching, or the one person's life whom I'm mentoring to become coach and transform so many people, or giving this talk. All this comes in the second grid is purposeful work, attractive as well as productive. If you're actually running your life on autopilot mode, which 95% of you must be doing now, you are actually doing most of the work in this section, the lower side of it, which is unnecessary or distracting work. And until you shift to the upper layer, which is necessary and purposeful work, you'll not be able to achieve something great. You'll not be proud of yourself at any given point of time. So we have to switch off autopilot mode and go into a hyper focus mode, which I'm going to teach today. Before we go into that, we have to understand how our brain works. So one thing I told is autopilot mode. We have attentional space. Now, what is this attentional space in our brain? It is amount of mental capacity we have available to focus on and process things in the moment. Now, you're listening to me, you're watching this presentation, is always run through attentional space, and it has only 45 seconds of time. And in that time, new things will come. So what you listen moment before has already gone. And if your attention space is having too many things, it will not be able to work. It is actually like a RAM. If you understand, if your brain is a computer or mobile, your attentional space can be called as a RAM, or you can call it as a working memory. And the attention is a working memory, and attentional space is a working memory capacity. You can also understand like a scratch pad or clipboard. इसमें हम लिखते हैं और थोड़ी देर बाद मिटक जाता है, इरेज हो जाता है. That is a scratch pad or a clipboard. And if you understand how mobile works or laptop works, if you have a good RAM, your mobile will work very fast. Your laptop will work very fast. But why don't we then increase RAM like anything? So that कि यार सब कुछ खतरनाक काम चलने लगे अपने कंप्यूटर या मोबाइल में. But whenever we increase the RAM, the energy required to run that is very highly increasing. And that's why all the mobile companies or computer companies are mindful how much RAM they can increase. And that's why similarly in our brain, we have limited RAM. It is not unlimited. And what we are doing with that is that we are trying to do n number of things mindlessly on autopilot mode, be it anything. And that's why I asked you to keep your mobile outside, because until that device is in front of you, distraction is in front of you, your mind is wondering. He wants something else. Why it is wondering? Because, as I said, your attentional space has a limitation, and it can focus one time for 35 seconds. As soon as it moves over 40 seconds, your mind is already looking for something stimulating, as Aditi told, right? Dopamine hormone, serotonin hormone. It is looking to trigger that, and it is finding opportunities to trigger those hormones to feel good. It is looking to get stimulated. With the fact 47% of the day, 47% of the time of your day, your mind is wandering. Means you don't have your own control. By the time you're listening to this talk, your mind is already wondering, और क्या कर सकता हूँ, उसको ये भेजना था, उसको ये करना था, अरे उसको रिमाइंडर भेजा नहीं, अरे वो पेमेंट करना था, वो ऑर्डर करना था, रह गया, अरे दूध लाने जाना था, इसके बाद खाना बनाना है, चाय पीना है. Your mind is, why it is doing it? Because it is designed to do that. As I said, your brain is wired only either to be to survive, or to reproduce. Anything apart from that, he is not interested. You might have developed the laptop, mobile, your brain doesn't know. Your brain only knows those two. All the hormone system are only those two things. So your mind is, why this is happening? As I said, your mind has a novelty bias, which actually looking for stimulation, which gives it dopamine. And the what we are doing today, most of you people, we all are working into kind of a knowledge work. It is not typical hard work which we used to do in earlier eras. It is all knowledge work, and we are not designed. That is why all these problems are happening. We are continuously getting distracted because our mind wants it. Our minds want either a pleasure, or he wants to safeguard you and looking for threaten. And that's why you unnecessarily keep getting thinking about that. If you look towards your attention space, you can do multitasking if you are just doing your habit works. But if you are doing anything apart from your habitual work, and you're trying to do more than one thing, your mind attention space is getting full. And that is when attention overload is happening. And if you're still trying to do multitasking, you are taking 50% longer than the actual task can be completed. And that's why multitasking is a crime if you are doing a complex work or non-habitual work. And when you switch from one task which is not habitual to another, there is some residual. Mind is still processing that. And if you do back-to-back two things, mind takes time to get over this. Your mind is still wondering what Kaushik said. Oh, is it possible? I can also be a coach. Can I ask my coach? I have to message him. Just hold on. Let's relax. Whatever you have mind, note it down in your notepad and focus on my talk. Because if you are not if you're not controlling your mind will control you. And that's not the right thing to do. And majority time, if you're not having a goal or a timeline or a deadline, your mind wants to give you n number of ways to do it. And that's why Parkinson's law come in picture, that you will finish the work in the allotted time. If I have given 10 hours to do one job, I'll finish in 10 hours. If I get 2 hours, I'll finish in 2 hours. Same work. Because my mind is giving n number of ways, how more ways I can do it. So we have to apply deadline. That is why the goal is important. And that is why you should have a goal. ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे GFC कोच बनना है, कब बनना है? You should have a timeline. And ask the person who is invited to hear that what is the best timeline I can be a coach. Give that to yourself, deadline, timeline. Don't worry. Yeah, will I be able to do it or not? If you ask your coach, how can I do it? Is it possible? Take his help, because they have gone through that journey. So whatever we eat, our body is what we eat. And I say, and you should also say from today, that you are what you focus on. We are what we focus on. There are n number of things running in this world. By this time you're listening to this talk or attending this session, there are n number of things which you decided not to have. And that's why you're becoming what you're focusing on. We are not even able to focus on 1%, 0.001%. We are only able to focus than the what information continuously coming to us. And that's why we have to be aware what things I have to focus on. Instead of just being busy to actually accomplishing something. Before 4 years, I was busy in doing n number of things, as Kaushik mentioned, but I was not accomplishing. 4 years before, when I started my journey, I intentionally brought my focus onto GFC thing, and that's what helped me to accomplish. And that's whatever I have become today is what I have focused in last 4 years. Now let us understand the flow state before we go into hyperfocus, because flow state is what actually we want to achieve by going into hyperfocus mode. If you are doing something which is easily can be done by your habitual or by your mind, you are actually getting bored. If you are doing something which is beyond your capacity, beyond your attentional space, you are getting overwhelmed or getting stressed, worried. Oh, I'm not able to do it. There are n number of things we cannot do it, right? We cannot play in IPL because our attentional space in that particular area, we haven't grown to that level. So what we have to do is that we have to come to flow state. Means we should have work which cannot be accomplished just by habitual work, which is little beyond our habitual capacity or autopilot mode. but it is within or just near to the limitation of our current attentional space, so that nothing else is. So once we are doing that work, our whole attentional space is utilized to that, and that is how it grows, and that's how it works in every area. Be it you're building muscles, it works the same way. So we have to go into flow state, and hyper focus actually help us to go in that flow state. And if you are working to flow state, that is when we are achieving great things in your life. And I'm currently in my flow state. So the need of hyper focus of our brain. So why are you getting attracted or actually focusing on this talk? Because there's a need in your life. अगर नीड नहीं है तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? हाइपर फोकस फोकस नॉर्मल भी चलता है ना, ऑटो पायलट में चल रहा है जिंदगी, क्या दिक्कत है? If you don't have enough things to do in your life, or you don't have something which is beyond your capacity, your mind doesn't need that. जरूरत नहीं है हाइपर फोकस की. अगेन सर्वाइवल मोड, सेव एनर्जी. क्यों जबरदस्ती परेशान होना है? लाइफ तो बढ़िया चल रही है. So you need something. So that is when GFC came in my life, it brought me. मेरे पास भी टाइम नहीं था. I was completely busy in my life, in my job. But when GFC came in my life, I wanted to create that 3-4 hours every single day. My mind asked, how can you do that? And that is when it was ready to go into this hyper focus mode. When you have a purpose in your life, you have something more than your capacity achievable. And that is when, if you are feeling that your coach might have asked, or you are feeling that यार अच्छा तो लगता है GFC कोच बनना, या फिर जो भी GFC में अपॉर्चुनिटी है, बट मेरे से पॉसिबल नहीं, टाइम ही नहीं है. Is because you haven't achieved this. If you achieve this, even if for 1 hour you are able to go into hyper focus mode every single day, you will be able to save 50% of your time. And I am not talking this just theory, practical. Not only on not only me, multiple people have studied, researched on this. What I'm telling is a science. So, and what I have done is that I am doing hyper focus mode for 3 times in a day, not just once. And that is why I'm able to save so much time and do so much things. I still have capacity to do something more in my life. So how do you increase your productivity? Because if you are at one time in attentional space, if you have only one thing, your productivity for doing that work is very, very high. And as you grow, number of things can be done in that attentional space, your productivity drastically, exponentially comes down. And that's why you have to be in the hyper focus mode if you want to achieve more. And what you need 2 things to just get started. To activate the hyper focus mode, you need a willpower and some energy, because it is not a default mode of a body or brain to work. Now, how to go into this hyper focus mode and be in that? First of all, you have to know that what actually I should be hyper focusing on. If you're hyper focusing on a wrong thing or a thing which is not required, your mind actually will not help you to go into hyper. You're frustrated. यार मेरे से हो नहीं पा रहा, दीपक ने तो बताया इतना सब कुछ, पर मेरे से नहीं हो पा रहा. So you have to actually have a purposeful task, something which is beyond actually need. So choose your task with the intention where you want to hyper focus. Second, set the timer. I have timer set for 25 minutes and for this talk, for me to be hyper focused on this talk. Then third is eliminating distraction. As I had given you, keep your mobile away. Put your laptop on do not DND mode or focus mode. And in my room currently, I don't have anything which distracts me. Only thing which helps me to focus. Any number of things. Keeping the windows closed so बाहर की आवाज खटर पटर नहीं आ रही है. Keeping the temperature, if possible, it is in your hand. You can control the temperature because your body works based in the temperature between 22 to 26 degrees Celsius. And then you have to move into hyper focus mode, focusing only on one external things with all your thoughts and the body, all your organs acting on that one thing. Even though there might be some residual left, attention से तो फिर भी थोड़ी जगह होंगी, but it's fine. I want to have that little attention space. थोड़ा बफर जिंदगी में होना चाहिए ना. कट टू कट चलोगे तो फिर शायद या तो मैच हार जाओगे या फिर बहुत हो नहीं पाएगा. So have that buffer. But whenever my mind will wander, as I told, it will look for stimulation. It will look something और कुछ तो करना है, most space बची है. He wants to optimally use that attentional space. So he will keep wandering. बहुत सारी चीजें तुमको याद आएंगी. I can bet on you while you're listening to this talk, n number of things already have come in your mind, or some idea, or some thought, some action, some to do, some stress, some worries. What you have to do is that have a notepad with you, mention it down. Whatever is coming in your brain, be it the task or the to-dos or some new ideas, some worries, some stress factor, कुछ भी thought आ रहा है, कुछ भी follow up आ रहा है, just note it down and tell, I have noted you down, mind. I have noted it down. Don't worry. I'll take care of this. Let you hyper focus and again come back onto this hyper focus mode. If you are doing this on the first half of the day, I also recommend, if you love, you can also have some caffeine like tea or coffee, which actually helps a lot. And if you're already on diet, I would recommend, and you don't want to break the fast, you can take actually black coffee, which actually helps a lot to hyper focus or any other thing. So I said, what all other factors trigger is your mood. What I already told about the hormonals, what hormones are going inside your body. Second is your diet. If you are on GFC diet, your body is best prepared, even mind best prepared to actually hyper focus. Your current health status, your current stress level, your environment, and that is the reason everyone starting point for hyper focus will be different. Minimum, you can start with 5 minutes. That's what I did, and today I'm able to hyper focus for 90 minutes straight without getting distracted at all. And I can do that 3 times in a day. And that is what maximum scientifically we can do and we should do. So start with 5 minutes one time a day and take it to 90 minutes in one sitting and maximum 3 sitting. And when you will do that, I can tell you, you will not be just top of the GFC. You will not just be top of your all social circle. You'll be top of the world. The world will know you if you do this continuously for n number of years. When we understand what are the distractions, what distraction are the things which actually we are not unnecessary work, which I told in the first slide, unnecessary and distraction word. So if you are in this section, it is completely distraction. And where there are some distraction which are not controlled by me. I don't have control. I have to take care of my office colleagues, office players, my family, my relatives, and number of things are there which are not in my control. But I believe more than that, things which are in your control are actually distracting you a lot. They are very less thing which is actually out of your control. For out of your control, if you're in this section which is like annoying, but which is out of your control, try to come back as early as possible. From that, come out of that situation as early as possible. You cannot actually decide, but you can decide how much to give time to for that. If you are doing fun work, which is not having no control, you can actually enjoy it. अब control है ही नहीं ना, अब fun भी मिल रहा है, attractive भी है, enjoy कर लो, है ना. But things which are in control, annoying things or even the fun things, we have to come out of it. And how we will do that? I want to help you with that. I can talk hours and days on this just by what I have done. But I want to quickly give you a list what you can do to remove distractions from your life. You need this to remove this distraction to hyper focus. But even if you can implement this any time of the day, you'll be amazed to see what happiness level you are having and what you're able to achieve the best productivity. What we feel and what we are up to the mark that my client का मैसेज आया, मैं तुरंत रिप्लाई करना है, और मेरे कोवर्कर का कलीग का मैसेज आया है, ईमेल आया है, I have to तुरंत immediately reply. It is not. What we feel, your client and coworkers needs you lot less than you actually think they do. And अगर जस्ट सच में urgent है तो people will call. I have all my notifications off of WhatsApp, Telegram, email, and I decide when I watch that. And I have reminders to do that so that I'm not missing it. Okay. And it has to be done on all the devices. It is not just about your mobile, not just laptop. Every electronic device you have to have your notifications setting. I see so many people distracted, so much tongue, din bhar baj raha hai. Even they are working and some message popping, pop. You feel that you are focused, but you don't know what is your capacity. And that's why you are still able to work with that distraction, but not achieving great in your life. इतना तेज दिमाग है तो कुछ धांसू करते ना. Why only managing with the things and be very happy? देखो distraction के बावजूद मैं काम कर पा रहा हूँ. It's a foolishness. And if you are in actually office, when you go to work for your personal things, if you are in the outside sitting environment, 64% you are getting distracted, and your productivity is 64% down actually what you can achieve. So whenever there is no team requirement is there to be sit actually physically, and if it is you're not able to work from home on that particular day, first try to work from home as much as possible whenever maximum is given. But even if you're in office, you can be smartly actually sit at a place where you are most less distracted. Sit in remote place जहां सबसे कम लोग आते जाते हैं, बहुत कम लोग आ पा रहे हैं उस कोने में. I sit that way in my office. I try to utilize meeting rooms as much as possible. मीटिंग रूम का ये मतलब कि जब मीटिंग होगी तभी वहां बैठूंगा. Whenever I want to focus on my work, hyper focus, I want to grab a meeting room. Change my meeting status. Meeting status, why it is given that you can also change? Because it is supposed to be used. Use that meeting status. Put in even DND. DND का मतलब ये नहीं कि जब तुम स्क्रीन शेयर करो तभी DND में हो सकते हो. You want to do not disturb. That's why that status is there. Meeting जो रेड कलर आता है ना ऑफिस वालों में, it is also mentioned busy. For busy also you can have red status. And people can wait for your reply. Emails can wait. When you are sitting in physical meets or events or session, if you are sitting at the back, you have so many hits, you're distracting yourself. Try to sit ahead so that you're directly watching the speaker. And that's why I love Zoom sessions as well, because you are directly seeing me. अगर आप गैलरी बोर्ड में हो, you're distracting yourself. Just have the speaker and the presentation. When you want to enjoy, and the TV, OTT are such a big distraction. Select what you want to watch instead of scrolling. अच्छा, TV खोल लिए, OTT खोल लिए, अब देख रहे क्या देखूं? They want you to see it, but what you want to see, be intentional for the entertainment as well. Try to shut down your laptop. Always sleep. N number of windows are open. Is a clear picture of what is inside your brain. Your brain is distracted. That's why your laptop is also. So many windows are open. Try to sometime, at least once in 3 days, shut down your laptop. Close all the things. When you are in gym or doing exercise, can you do without that simulation of music or that podcast? Try to go in that hyper focus mode even when you are doing gym exercising. I have stopped having mobile in my nearby to me when I'm doing now exercise. And it is just amazing. Even when you are able to hyper focus on exercise, you are doing great. When mobile is the biggest distraction, and as I said, my notification is off except only for people, my mentors, Sarita, my wife, and some important people. I have notification on. Other than that, all notifications off. I will see when I want to, when I am free to see. मैं बता रहा हूँ, एक लाइन लिख लो आप. There is nothing urgent. अगर urgent है तो people will call you. Only call notification. Tring 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 बजता है ना. That is only what I have turned on. And other than that, everything is off. I decide when you see it. When you are hyper focusing, keep your mobile out of your sight. It should be 20 seconds, at least 20 seconds away for your mind to tell. Thought भी अगर आया ना, यार दूर है, वो छोड़ दो, इतना भी urgent नहीं है. And as I said, have your notepad and pen with you. Note it down whatever is coming. Mind the gap means when you're getting some breaks in between. एक मीटिंग के बाद दूसरे मीटिंग में तुम जा रहे हो. What we do? जैसे मीटिंग खत्म हुआ, देख लेता हूँ किसका रिप्लाई है. Your mind is want to that chick. मैंने इसको रिप्लाई कर दिया, उसको रिप्लाई कर दिया. But if you're not giving that gap or break in between two hyper focus mode or focus mode, your mind is not able to process that. Give that some gap. Keep reminder to check your message, reply to people or email and anything. When you're sitting with people, exchange the mobile. उसका मोबाइल मेरे पास, उसका मेरा मोबाइल उसके पास. So mind will not, उसको पता है मोबाइल है ही नहीं मेरे पास, क्या करूँगा, उसका मोबाइल देख के करना क्या है मुझे, है ना. और for social media apps, if your work actually requires to use social media app, put it into some folder and name it like distraction. So whenever you're entering, you're entering into distraction, and tell your mind, I will not wait, I'll not use more than 5 minutes to be inside there. मैं जाऊंगा, अपना पोस्ट डालूंगा, I will come back. मैं जाऊंगा, अपने मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट लोगों का स्टेटस देखूंगा, आई विल कम बैक, which actually helping me to grow. In today's world, so much calls, junk call and SMS coming. I feel so pity everyone. कॉल आ रहा है, कट कर दे रहे, कॉल आ रहा है, कट कर दे रहे. अरे भाई, जब कॉल आ रहा है, इट इज ऑलरेडी डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग. यू आर नॉट स्मार्ट टू नॉट पिक दैट. योर माइंड इज ऑलरेडी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड. व्हाट यू कैन डू, सर की कॉल आई ना, वो SMS जंक आई ना, DND activate करो. Every cellular phone has some DND. It is activated, and I get so less number of distraction. What I see people getting, just activate that DND. And फिर भी कोई कॉल आता है, जंक कॉलर है. When you pick that call, ask him, can you please remove my number from your list? Because वो आते रहेगा. एक सर्विस के लिए दूसरे सर्विस के लिए आएगा. लोन के लिए नहीं आएगा तो होम लोन के लिए आ जाएगा, या फिर किसी और चीज के लिए आ जाएगा, क्रेडिट कार्ड के लिए आ जाएगा. Ask them to remove that. एंड SMS, SMS का एक्चुअली इस दुनिया में कोई काम नहीं है एक्सेप्ट द OTP एंड द क्रेडिट इंफॉर्मेशन कमिंग इन. बट इट हैज बीन सो कचरा हो गया, स्पेसिफिकली इन इंडिया देयर इज नो रेगुलेशंस, एंड दैट्स व्हाई माय SMS नोटिफिकेशन इज ऑफ. अगर OTT आना है तो मुझे पता है ना कब OTP आने वाला है. आई कैन गो ऑन दैट ऐप एंड ओपन इट. व्हाई डू आई वांट माय माइंड टू डिस्ट्रैक्शन विद एवरी पॉपअप, टक 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 टक. And if you're conscious about just this notification, you'll get so many ideas. Same with the email. Keep the reminder to check. 6 seconds is the average time after a mail sent people are watching. It's so I am so afraid that every email, be it useful, not useful, you're getting distracted. You're not able to be hyper focus mode. Keep a reminder to check your emails. Unsubscribe करना will take less than time for you to every time read, swipe. तो swipe भी करो ना ऐसे, या फिर you're not even opening that email, still you're consuming lot of time. If you just unsubscribe once, it is gone. Apply rules so that only काम के email तुम्हारे inbox में आ रहे which really need your attention. Keep your 2 emails. One is कचरा, जिसमें सारे कचरे आते हैं. One is only personal, जिसमें कोई भी email आया मतलब बहुत काम का है. Block your calendar, work. You become the slave of your calendar, not of notifications. And use multiple different options like pin, highlight, unread, any number of ways there. जो डिजिटल दुनिया है, इसमें डिस्ट्रैक्शन भी दी है, उसमें टूल्स भी है. इट इज हाउ वी यूज इट. इट इज सेम विद द मीटिंग्स. Be hyper focused. When I am sitting in any important meeting, I want to be hyper. Even it is 1-to-1, I am very hyper focused, and I am really loving my productivity when I am sitting with 1-to-1 in the hyper focus mode. Ask, am I required in some junk meetings? Decline. It is fine. If you're not joining, you just inform the host and not joining. See the agenda. You need not. अगर 1 घंटे का मीटिंग है, 1 घंटा पूरा कंप्लीट करना जरूरी नहीं है. You can actually work hyper focus, finish in 30 minutes and use the 30 minutes for something else. Again, Parkinson's law. आपने 1 घंटा allocate किया ना, तो 1 घंटा चलेगा मीटिंग. But people are distracted. You are not. You are a productive person. You are doing something great in your life. And as I said, use your status wisely. DND ho and all that. We can. So now you learn how to do hyper focus mode. You are also know how to remove distractions from your life. Now how we continuously keep growing. I started my journey as a member in GFC. Then I became coach. Then I became featured coach. Now I am into leadership team. How it is happening is not my talent is growing. It is my attentional space is growing. And yes, you can grow it. How can we grow our attentional space? First, practice hyper focus mode every single day or whenever possible. अगर हर दिन नहीं हो पा रहा है, try at least 3 times in a week. Start with that at least. ठीक है? Do meditation. Help you a lot to increase your attentional space. Be mindful. I don't have much time to go into depth of everything. Is हर एक टॉपिक अपने आप में 1-1 घंटे का है. But learn about it. How can you mindfulness? But mindfulness is that irrespective of how complex or easy the task is, I am present in that moment. I am not thinking anything apart from that. That is what mindfulness is. Do some purposeful work, not just default work. Job is also a default work. It is not a purposeful work unless you are actually working on something creating great, which is actually transforming the whole world. You must be creating something great, which will be the biggest invention in the world. If it's not, you're not doing purposeful work. Try doing purposeful, and that's what will grow your attention space. And be happy. If you are not happy doing something, you will not be grow your attention, because your mind is running against you. Why I never feel like working in GFC? Because I love transforming that one life. I love that message. Thank you, Coach Deepak. You changed my life. Thank you, Deepak, for helping me to become coach in GFC. It just make me happy. And that's what happiness actually helps you to grow your attentional space. I'm running short of time, but last I want to give you with this thought is that scatter focus is equally important than hyper focus. What is scatter focus? Scatter focus means it's opposite to hyper focus. Hyper focus, you're actually only specifically working on one thing. Even the thoughts are working in that direction. In scatter focus mode, you are externally not working on anything. You're actually just letting your mind wander. अपने आप, you are not deciding किस चीज के ऊपर सोचना है. Because that is a recharge. Hyper focus is actually for you to be productive. Scatter focus is for you to be creative, bring new ideas, and let your mind plans for your future. If hyper focus is collecting the dots, the scatter focus help you to connect the dots. सारा information ले लिए, but अगर आप उसको connect ही नहीं कर पाए to bring new ideas or new creativity or make something better future, there is no point of just being hyper focused. Let your mind wander. Do some boring task. Boring task मतलब actually boring. इसमें कोई ना attraction है, nothing है. Take refreshing breaks. Go on to nature without mobile. Walk पे जाओ, कोई जरूरत नहीं है. और नहीं काउंट करेंगे 10,000 तो चलेगा. You know ना. From this many days you're doing 10,000 steps. आज नहीं भी काउंट भी चलेगा. It's fine. Sleep. Peaceful. 8 hours. Also helps you to be in scatter focus mode. If you're not giving rest to your attentional space, you're actually you have the feeling of burnout. If you're not doing any purposeful work, like majority of GFs people are doing, you'll be feeling burnout. If you're not working on things which you love or care about, you'll feel burnout. So 90 minutes best is 90 minutes work, 15 minutes break. वो नहीं हो पा रहा है, 60 minutes work, 15 minutes break. And when you will do this way, you'll be better able to focus good in that 60 minutes than the whole time. It is like a defragmentation. So hyper focus will actually get multiple chunks of the things in your brain, but scatter focus will bring along everything and make something out of it, what actually we want. And it is actually kind of a recharge for your brain. I know I took a little more time than what I should have been, but I hope this session actually has helped you to learn this new way of living, a mode which is hyper focus mode. I believe even if you're able to implement whatever I told you to implement, just even 5%, your life will be great. Would love to see many of you joining in the GFC mission and taking this world to a next level. With similar such great things will be keep coming. With that, I'm done. Back to our great host, Varun.